Ares got here, and it's time to talk about Fairy Tail. And this episode, I was like, hey, we have Selene going full power against Suzaku, and I'm really liking the Suzaku shenanigans. But what got me a lot was Lucy's fight. I was grinning so much. This is why I love Fairy Tail, and the music going at the perfect time there, and the rematch, Lucy versus Mimi, and it seems like we're gonna have rematches, and Gray commenting Fairy Tail never loses against the same enemy twice. That's a very, very true comment there, but also have to talk a bit about Suzaku at the start of the episode. So let's get into it and talk about it. But oh, I almost forgot the flashback start slash skit at the start of the episode. Juvia and Gray having that moment there. Juvia recharging herself with Gray energy, and I was like, she really likes everything about Gray. She was even willing to have him just be lazy around and do everything for him. But when they finally got serious, he was like, I promise I'll be back. And then the teleportation happened and Juvia got robbed. The timing was priceless there. But I'm really like I said, this season has been great for relationships and character development here. Then the episode picks right from last week with Natsu and Suzaku face to face, and Natsu smelling instantly that Suzaku is a dragon slayer, and Suzaku has an interesting personality. I definitely feel he's like a dork, 100% a dork, and I really like him. I hope after the enemy arc thing, we're gonna get to see more of him. He starts going into Sherlock Holmes mode, deducing that Natsu is a pervert. Which, considering the situation, Natsu is almost fully naked with just a scarf around his neck. I can't say he's wrong. Just at face value there. But they quickly realize they kind of have the same goals here with Seline. Then the group joins them, and throughout this he doesn't realize he's with Fairy Tail, his enemies there, and he starts taking a liking to them thanks to the shenanigans. I really like his sense of humor. And Happy quickly find out he has a weakness of naked jokes there, and him saying he wants to go after Seline to get her before Fairy Tail. And then he starts slowly, he's not really Sherlock Holmes in this case, after this starts realizing that the people in front of him are in fact Fairy Tail here. And after all of the airhead dork things he has, when he gets serious, he definitely gets serious after revealing his part of Diabolos, showing like he's actually really strong here. He's about to draw his sword. Erza is the first one to react. Even though she reacts, he cuts through her sword and actually wounds her quite heavily here. Natsu also gets wounded when he charges up really badly there, and he's really strong, and I'm liking his techniques. So we're gonna talk more about his power there, but he quickly dispatched two of the strongest members of Fairy Tail. I'm curious if we're ever gonna get a rematch or at least a friendly match there. I honestly can't see them as being fully enemies. I do hope Suzaku just goes against Diablos. Apparently they're pieces of shit, or maybe not all of them. I'm liking Diablos as a guild, but I'm really curious what's gonna happen to them. I even mentioned when he first got introduced to Diablos, the guild, fully seeing the guild master, kind of reminding me a bit of Sabertooth, and I hope the guild master is not gonna be a disappointment like the guild master of Sabertooth was, at least for me. I like the guild of Sabertooth. All of the other characters were great. Mage games are some of my favorite parts of Fairy Tail. The twin dragons fight, everything there, but the guildmaster himself of Sabertooth was pretty much just an asshole with too big of a mouth and a piece of shit. And this one, I do hope he's at least more powerful. I hope he's gonna be evil, granted, but I do hope he actually delivers more on that aspect. And Suzaku, I'm really liking him, and we still haven't seen all of the full members of the Diabolos guild, and here was just a glimpse of him versus the Fairy Tail members. But before anything more could happen, we have Selene just casually storming in, or walking in, not storming in, my bad. Yeah, I'm liking her. She's more open to face enemies, so to say. She likes to play around, but also gets serious. Then we have Fairy Tail members get away from there, start going on the run with the two wounded. Mimi and Hakone are sent after them to chase them. Then the fight happens. I'm like, this is gonna be the episode Selene versus Suzaku. This is what we're gonna get here, right? Starts pretty good. Selene actually is able to dodge the things that wounded the fairy tale members with Bato Jutsu, just the quick draw technique that he has. She strikes back, but he's able to cut her flames, and her attack kind of reminded me a bit of Byakwe. And if you haven't watched Bleach, do yourself a favor and watch Bleach, especially how good we have been eating right now with this arc. I have the videos also on that. The butterfly attack that Selene did here, but he's still able to cut through it, even though he got a bit wounded, very slight damage there, and he finally reveals the name of the dragon he ate, Kuronugi, and even the attacks are based on that name, and seems like Selene has a history of the dragon. I do hope we're gonna get some flashbacks and develop a bit more the dragons here, and especially the dragon gods, which I have a lot of questions about. And apparently Kuronugi is the sword saint dragon, and this is why all of the techniques are based around swords, quick draw, and things like that. And she was about to go full power, Selene, after this, and we have Fairy Tail being on the run, and Toka comes saving them at the last second with a portal. But Mimi just apparently has a same nose as a Dragon Slayer, or better, or around the same level. She's able to chase after them holding Hakone as a princess, even though Mimi wants to still be the princess, and Fairy Tail ends up at the White Mage temple there, but Mimi and Hakone still find them, and here is where we see Selene's full power affecting the entire moon even there. But I wasn't expecting this. We get a bit of a different point of view in Mercphobia's town. Apparently the moon was even started to affect other worlds even there, rising the water level thanks to the moon effects. And this is finally one of the dragons that is at full power. Even Mercphobia commented that he didn't have his full power when they encountered him. Aldoron wasn't fully resurrected, like he wasn't at full power, and Selene is the first dragon god that has her full power, so that's gonna be interesting here. I don't think Suzaku is gonna defeat her, because after she finally reveals her full power, he was getting overwhelmed, like quite a lot there. He couldn't react, he was barely defending there, and she hasn't even transformed. We keep that in mind. She didn't go into her transformation, and she was overwhelming him right after he easily defeated the Fairy Tail members, and she was putting up a decent fight against her before she went full power. So I'm liking this, but I don't think Suzaku is gonna be the one to defeat her. I'm curious how that is gonna go down, and if my theory is gonna be true with Irene getting Selene's body, which, now that I think more about it, I think Irene might prefer more to be a human, considering everything that happened. But hey, you never know how that is gonna go down. I'm really excited for this one. I feel like this is gonna be a shorter, faster arc compared to the other dragon gods that we got in the past, and I do hope we're gonna get more seasons after this, because it feels like we have a lot more to cover. But we're gonna talk more about those when we get the last few episodes here. Then the highlight of the episode for me, honestly, was Lucy. Lucy was great here. While Suzaku was fighting Selene, there we have Lucy versus Mimi, and Hakone versus Grace starting, but that's probably gonna be next episode. And Lucy just using kick attack, different variations of kicks attacks, but she also gets a Mimi kicking return. I like Mimi's personality there. She's very open and innocent at the same time, but she's gonna kick your ass, and she starts using Lucy's naming technique, Mimi kicks, and adding Mimi to all of her named attacks there. And I like how Mimi started acknowledging Lucy's change in attitude after Lucy found the chorus again, thinking of herself and her friends and everything. So, and this is why I like Fairy Tail. It shows how much your mental state can affect everything, and having people that care about you around you, and you caring about them there. And Mimi showing that respect there for Lucy, but then proceeds to go Super Saiyan Broly. Like, it fully reminded me of Broly, and imagine Lucy fighting Broly. That's not gonna end up really well. Thankfully, Mimi is not at the power level of Broly there, but Lucy still fought back and even summons Aquarius, but Mimi starts drinking the water, all of it, and actually gets fat. Hey, Mimi started looking like me after drinking all of the water, but Lucy reveals that she was just stalling for time, and thanks to Gemini and herself, she's able to hit Mimi with Uranometer, and throughout the fight, looked great, but the music hit perfectly for me. I know, like, I've seen a lot of people didn't like this song here, but I honestly do like it. I think it fits quite well here, and I like the double voice when doing the chanting, and the chant itself is really cool. Their astrology and so on, with the Urano Meteor attack hitting Mimi. I'm like, okay, she's taken out. Lucy finally won here, and she needed this victory. I think it was great for her, and I do hope we see more development thanks to this world that has a lot of magic here. But then Mimi gets back up, and like, okay, she has to fall down. This is like the last thing, right? And yeah, Mimi is defeated, but she passed out on her feet. She reminded me a bit of that white beard scene there, if you guys remember from One Piece. So Lucy gets her victory, was great. Selene is full power here. Probably next week we're gonna have Selene defeating Suzaku, which is my theory there. Gray winning against Hakone, and after that I'm curious how they're gonna defeat Seline, and I do hope we get to see more Suzaku. So yeah, really fun episode. I'm liking Lucy getting this victory. I'm curious what you guys thought about the episode. Let me know in the comments below. And again, I'm sorry, my voice is still not fully back, so if I'm stumbling a bit, sounding weird, I'm mostly over the worst part here, but my voice still feels like talking through a blender, so apologies about that. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Fairy Tail. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.